trying to make is that, believe it or not, CC Sabathia had outings like the one he had against the Astros many times last year. So in that way, it's not encouraging in the sense of he would blow a game in an inning, 2 innings, and then he'd have 4, sometimes even 5 innings where he would be normal CC. And it's just that's what frustrates you so much because you look at him.
Why is it taking so long for you to get
you
in
look
your
at
groove? You're giving
exactly
you're throwing the game in the very beginning.
Once you get in, but sometimes Frankie would be the reverse. He'd be in his groove to start the game first
then
4 innings,
blow it the
and then
last
randomly
inning.
in the 5th inning he'll give up 4 runs, and then he'll be back in his game. What the next step for CC with diminished velocity and becoming more of a pitcher as opposed to a flamethrower, the next step for him is just consistency, finding that exact mechanic, really repeating that mechanic, matching that mechanic in his throwing motion so that he can make those good pitches from the start of the game to the second he gets taken out of the game. Because at the end of the day, you look at Scott Feldman, the guy who shut the Yankees out. And granted, the Yankees haven't scored a lot of runs these first 2 games. That is a high. No, they scored altogether now 3 runs between those 2 games.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Now, regardless of that, baseball is predicated on failure. You're going to fail more than you're going to succeed. It's just the nature of the statistics of baseball. So many games, you're going to strike out more than you're going to hit. That's just the way that it is. But it's a high-octane offense. Their offense is no joke. And with that being said, Scott Feldman, he's a finesse pitcher. He doesn't throw the ball hard. I don't think he ever topped 90 miles an hour in the entire game. And he kept the Yankees off balance. Believe it or not, CC Sabathia can learn from a pitcher like Scott Feldman that it's not necessarily always about blowing past guys with fireballs with 96 miles, 95 miles an hour. If you change speeds, if you work both sides of the plate, come inside, move outside when you have to, give guys different looks, keep them off balance, you can still be effective. CC Sabathia, I believe, has made that transition. It was just the first game of the season, and CC Sabathia historically throughout his career has been pretty lackluster on the first game of the season.
So we got the first one down. What was that, 6-3?
The end result was 6-2. And the second game, people went crazy. Second pitch of the game, Hiroki Kuroda gives up a solo home run. But then, believe it or not, he ended up only giving up 1 other run through 6 solid innings, and he got out of the game with 92 pitches. The end result of that game ended up being 3-1. The Yankees' bats couldn't come alive. So they were 2 disappointing games to start the season for the Yankees. But I'm going to take you back to last year when the Yankees had a butchered roster, and they started the season at home against the Red Sox, and they lost 2 out of 3, the first 2. And then the season before that, they started their season on the road against the Tampa Bay Rays, and they got swept on the road. And that was an excellent team in 2012. So the point that I'm trying to say is, all of you Yankee fans out there, I have to hear you on WFAN. I have to hear you on ESPN.